It's been quite challenging having this deep inner knowing that my husband is here. Ooh, shit. I felt that. This is so weird every time because eventually you just have to start talking and hope that it goes well. But if it doesn't, you just try again. Okay. Peace and greetings, beautiful beings. Welcome to yet again. Look at your girl being consistent, uploading episodes consistently every Wednesday. Anyways, just kidding. You know, I have to be funny because I'm nervous. Welcome to another episode. Thank you for joining me. Today, we are going to talk about a subject that is very prominent right now. Today, we're going to talk about love. Okay, let's talk about consciously dating, consciously navigating romantic relationships. Because, listen, let me just say this. No one in known history has ever had to date like this. Dating has never been more complex. Dating has never been as sensitive as it is now. So just show yourself grace if you are in the dating pool just like me, and just understand that you're not having a hard time. You're in a hard situation. This is hard for everybody. Yeah, some people might make it look easy, but you're probably not seeing those late night emotions. Okay, you're probably not seeing the whole picture unless you are with that person 24/7. So don't, just because some people make it look easy, don't mean this shit's easy. It's actually quite difficult. So just show yourself some grace and make sure, my very first point, make sure you shift the focus from the other person to yourself. This whole fucking dating shit, it's not about the other person. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. Like, oh, I'm dating, I'm supposed to obviously care about the other person. Yeah, but it's not about them. This is about you, because you are the one in relationship with everything else, right? So your main focus has to be you, your boundaries, just protecting your heart and protecting yourself. And I feel like all of the content online that I see about dating is majority focused on the other person and how to recognize red flags in the other person and how to recognize this. And it's just so much focused on the other person, when really this is about this journey with yourself. This entire life experience journey is about you. It's about your life. So don't make this part of your journey about the other person. Continue to be your own main focus. Do not make someone else the center of your universe. If you are operating where you are the center of your own universe, it really makes this dating experience much easier, because you are able to relinquish and let go of anything that doesn't match your authenticity, your vibration. But if you aren't the center of your universe, who is dictating your vibration? Who is dictating your frequency? Whatever you've placed in the inside of your universe as the center. So let's just take a deep breath, okay? Okay. Let's just take a deep breath and dive right in, because I have a lot of really good points that we're going to talk about. And at the very, very end of this video, we're going to talk about the twin flame journey, because what you people have dictated as the twin flame journey is complete bullshit. And I just don't like how y'all have tainted the concept of divine union. So we're going to get into that at the end of the video, okay? I recently discovered that I have an anxious attachment style. Anxious attachment, if you don't know what that is, it's basically when you meet someone, you're so anxious that you're gonna lose it, that you like cling to it. Like you really just hold on to this person. And some good indicators that you have an anxious attachment style too is, let's say you meet someone and then that night or the next day, you're going all through their social medias, you're looking at all their pictures, you're looking at who they follow, you're looking at who follows them. If they send you a text and If you send a text and they don't respond within a certain amount of time, you start to get weird and you start to get worried. And when it's been too long, it's just that worry energy in a relationship. If you're always worried about something, that's a really good indication that you have an anxious attachment style. So I realized this at the end of my last relationship, and it's a large part of why I ended my last relationship in December of 2020, because I knew I needed to heal. I knew that if I don't take some time away from the dating scene and really focus on healing my attachment style, it doesn't matter who's next. It doesn't matter how many people I date. None of it matters, because it's always going to get fucked up by my insecure attachment to this other person. So I went through a dark night of the soul. I've told y'all this in many other videos. 2020 absolutely broke my sense of self and my entire identity, like literally wiped it out. And I spent 2021 in isolation and really just fine-tuning my vibration and even discovering and figuring out what my frequency is. I spent my entire life filling every single moment with focused on someone else, that I never spent any time focused on myself. I didn't even know who I was. I didn't even know what my frequency, I didn't know what my love even felt like. So how can I confidently say, you know, you should be in a relationship with me when I don't even know what it's like to be in a relationship with myself? I've never even given my love to myself. So how do I even know it feels good? Oh yeah, that level of honesty is what I've been doing for the past year and a half. So I spent this time in isolation, just really diving deep onto who I am. And that's a whole other video. And I'll love to make that for you. Just let me know that you want it. You feel me? But I spent this time in isolation. And when I came out of isolation, it was so clear that I had healed, because my presence now has an impact on other people. I've always had an impact on other people, but never quite like this. Never to the point where people are stopping me wherever I go, no matter where I go. People are stopping me at the gynecologist office, at the stores, like everywhere I go. Seriously, true story. Someone says, I can feel your peace. I can feel your presence. Being around you feels good. People say to me, like, when I'm with you, things just flow and everything feels good. People give me free shit all the time. Like daily. Somebody gives me something. And it's all because I'm in flow. I found the inner peace. I found the inner flow. And now I'm able to radiate from a place of wholeness versus radiating from a place, the delusion of separation and loneliness and brokenness. That brokenness, that pain is no longer my narrative. That's not the story I tell about myself, because of this year where I discovered who I am. So I came out of this year of isolation, and in February of 2020, I decided to start dating. In February of 2021, I decided to start dating again. And I tried dating apps, but that just wasn't me. That's not me. Because as I'm sitting here swiping, it just felt like I'm pleasing my mind. It felt stimulating to my mind, but not to my heart and not to my soul. And I'm just swiping when I'm bored, and it wasn't working out for me. And my guidance system never told me to download dating apps anyways. I only downloaded dating apps in the first place because A, it's trendy, B, I was bored, C, I was horny, and D, I was lonely. Like, that's the only reason why. And because of my experience on dating apps, I was able to discover, or I was able to see more clearly the vibration that I was emitting. Because for real, I was there for sex. And I wasn't able to be honest with myself, so I couldn't understand why I kept attracting these people who just want sex. But that's because that's how I was feeling. And eventually I realized, oh, you're just horny and you would like a consistent sexual partner, but you don't want to just say it like that. So you have to pretend like you're on here looking for something that you're not actually looking for. And it was interesting. And it really challenged identities and beliefs that I had about myself, because I've been on this abstinence journey for 3 years, but really, every 6 to 8 months, I be sneaking some dick in. So, this dating experience has caused me to really um, just be honest with myself, because it's easy to say you're abstinent or you're celibate when you're not talking and dating anybody. But what happens when you got to find chocolate brother texting you, good morning, bae? Yeah, it's a lot harder to keep your legs closed. I'm just saying, are we going to be honest or what? So this dating experience has challenged me and triggered me in quite a few ways, but it has given me opportunities to get clear and to get honest about what I'm really wanting and what I'm really looking for. So, another trigger that happened more recently, a few months ago, is just I don't even know what to call it. I'm sure you guys in the comments can let me know what this is. It's just my anxious attachment style. But I met this guy, right? When we meet, like everything's cool, like I'm getting the vibe, he's getting the vibe. I'm like, okay, this dude, you know what I'm saying, we feeling each other. And we met out of town. We both come back home and I essentially don't hear from him. And I'm like, did I read this wrong? Like, what's happening? Like, I don't understand how I meet this great guy and all of a sudden I never hear from him. So I reached out to him about a week later, and he basically responded with, he's super busy, but he's definitely interested. He's looking forward to getting to know me. He's just super busy. And then time goes by, a couple weeks go by again, and I'm like, bro, it's almost been a month since we've met and I haven't heard from him. You would think You would think someone who is secure within themselves and someone who is the center of their own universe would be like, well, fuck him. Like, wouldn't even be concerned with him. He wouldn't even be a blip on the radar. But me, and the anxious attachment style that I'm healing, was like, no, let's obsess. Let's Google him everywhere. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Let's try to find more about, like, Zillow. Shit, I don't know. I was looking for this man. I was looking for him with a flashlight in the daytime. And I spent like a 2 week period of time going over every single word in our messages, trying to decode and decipher, like, what does he mean? And he clearly likes me, but he actually hasn't actually said he likes me. And it's just like, I went through this loop. Oh my God, it was horrible. And I was in this loop of panic and worry and anxiety. And eventually it occurred to me that you're asking him for the bare minimum. To have to ask someone for a response, for attention, for energy, for clarity, for human decency. You are asking for the bare minimum. And although being in this situation sucked, I'm really grateful for this guy and how he treated me, because it highlighted something that was active in my vibration, and that was this belief that I've been trained to believe, that things have to be earned, that I'm not naturally worthy of love and respect and transparency and clarity, that I have to somehow earn these things. And that's a fucking load of crap. Okay, so I'm grateful that he highlighted what little bit of lack I have left, because I was able to address it. And that's the thing, like, when you ask to grow, you're going to get triggered. That's how you grow. So I'm grateful that this happened to me, but And not but, and I learned a lot about the early stages of anxious attachment, because after my last relationship, I was able to see like the long-term effects of anxious attachment, but this situation let me see like symptoms, the early symptoms that, hey, you're getting attached. You are anxiously attaching to this person, and this is what it looks like in the beginning. So now I'm able to recognize, hey, you're doing it again. And I'm able to also have this sense of self-worth and confidence where I'm not going to ask someone to pay attention to me. Essentially, if you are not putting in the effort and already, I'm not going to ask you to do that. I shouldn't have to ask you to do that. Okay? Baby, how about we start dating people who actually like us? How about we start dating people who actually like us? That would help a whole lot. Okay? I'm just saying. Ooh, this is a good one. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm so glad I wrote this down. Thank you for the guidance. I'm so glad I wrote this down. Let's talk about dating after being numb for years. Yeah. Because I went to this psychedelic conference, which is where I met the guy. Ugh. I just didn't want to bring that up because people from the conference be watching this and I don't want you trying to figure out who it is. Anyways, this conference was like a heart chakra awakening in combination with the people I met, the people I was in a relationship with, the medicines that I was trying. It was just a heart chakra awakening. And I was no longer numb. Like, I came home being able to fully feel all of my feelings. And I think, well, I know the reason why it was so easy for me to anxiously attach to the man that I had met there was because in his presence, I felt something, period. Like, when you're numb and then you're no longer numb, the first person who shows up, you're gonna fucking think you're in love with this guy. Because it's like, oh my God, I feel all these things. Don't be so quick to assign a meaning to your feelings. Allow things just to play out for themselves. And that's not what I did with that guy. I immediately was like, oh, I feel all this love. I feel all these feelings. I can see myself in him. Looking at him feels like I'm looking at myself, which it is. But still, I was so quick to say, oh, well, he must be the one. It must be him. But in reality, I was really feeling myself. He was just the excuse. He was the permission slip. But really what I was feeling was my own love. And I gave it away by saying that this guy triggered this love within me. That's crap. That's not what happened. What I felt for him was me feeling myself. And because I was so quick I was desperate for a husband. Let's be honest. I told y'all, we're going to be honest. Because I was so desperate for a husband and desperate for this dating journey to be over, I very quickly, immediately assigned him the meaning that he's the one. So, to no surprise, it didn't turn out like that. So I'm just giving insights and revelations on what I've been learning over the last 8 months. And yeah, that's a good one. Ooh, let's take a deep breath. I have to keep coming back to center because this is such an emotionally charged topic. I have to keep come back home, come back, because I can get angry and I don't want to be angry. Okay, so let's talk about another situation that I've been in recently where I entertained someone that I did not see a future with. Why, Vishuddha? Why did you do that? Because I was bored. and I was horny. So I was talking to this guy that I knew immediately, this isn't going to go anywhere. If anything, you're going to bring me down. And I kept talking to him, and I kept answering the phone, and I kept texting him. Why? Let's be honest. The thing about it is, you know that you've had someone do you like that before. You know exactly what I'm talking about. He's dating you. He's doing all these things. He's saying all these things to you. Meanwhile, in his head, he knows it's not going to go nowhere. But he keeps stringing you along and breadcrumbing you and love bombing you and future faking because he's getting something out of it. You know somebody did you like that before. So why would you do that to somebody else? Why are you perpetuating this narrative? Because, baby, if you call yourself, you're healing, why are you doing that? Why are you furthering the pain? Why are you still in this cycle? Baby, you should be so vibrationally away from that. So eventually, when he fucked up, which, be honest, we knew he was gonna do, eventually I stopped answering his phone calls. But it shouldn't have had to take him disrespecting me in order for me to leave this situation alone. Because I knew from the jump that this is not my man. So yeah, let's just be honest about dating people you actually want and dating people you actually like. Because I've realized that in this journey, I've realized that I have to seriously respect and admire my partner or it's not gonna work out. And I didn't respect him. But why are you talking to him? I'm just saying, let's be honest. The good thing about all of this, these past 8 months and all of these triggers, because I know that was very trigger heavy, but let's talk about the good thing about being triggered. Because once you're triggered and once the wound is highlighted and active, now you have the opportunity to heal it. And as long as you do the work to heal it, it was worth it. So I've been doing the work to heal this lack of self-worth, this anxious attachment style, asking for the bare minimum. I've really, really dived really super deep into why do I do this? Where did this come from? How was this demonstrated to me as a child? And just really just bringing the light of presence into the darkness. Speaking of bringing the light into the dark, let's talk about the twin flame journey, because you bitches have me fucked up. I really don't like what you guys on the internet have been saying is the twin flame journey. And if that's what the twin flame journey is, fuck you. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want to be a part of that. Okay? And y'all know what I mean. I'm not even about to get into it. But I do want to get into my definition of divine union or divine counterparts, which is the word I will be using from now on. I will try my absolute hardest for the rest of my life never to use the word twin flame, because who even the fuck made that shit up, okay? Because if you want to keep it real, everybody a twin flame, if you want to keep it real. But let's get into my definition, what I wrote down and what I was inspired to believe is a divine union, okay? For me, a divine union is an energy exchange with the intention of triggering and healing any traumas in order to raise the frequency of the entire collective, okay? Therefore, divine union is not about you. It's not just about you. It's not about the other person. It's about the entire collective. That, to me, is divine union. A relationship that is so freaking healing and safe that it raises the entire vibration of the entire frequency of existence. That is a divine union. And if that is what you want, you have to wait on the divine. There are all types of unions, there are all types of relationships. But the divine union that I seek is orchestrated by the divine in divine timing. And you have to accept what comes with that. When you ask for a divine union, you have to accept that you have zero control over when this is going to happen. You don't get to decide. You don't get to pick. You get to wait. And that is the hardest freaking part, but we'll get into that later, okay? The reason why I call bullshit on the twin flame journey is because I really believe it's a concept that humans made up to like stroke their own ego and to feed their own ego into thinking that they're special, when in reality you are already in relationship with everything. Right now I'm in relationship with this chair. I'm in relationship with this light. I'm in relationship with this microphone. You are already in relationship with everything. To me, a divine union is a relationship that you have intentionally crafted to be a safe place to be triggered in order to heal the trigger and raise the vibration of everything else. Because every time you raise your vibration, everything else raises. Everything. Because remember, we aren't actually separated. I'm not actually separate from you. I am literally you. So if I heal, you heal. And that is the purpose of a divine union, is to ask for a relationship that does that. The intention is so important, because so many people go into relationships with the intention of not being lonely, of having someone to do life with, a ride or die, for sickness and in health. But that's not what I'm asking for. It's just not what I'm asking for. It's just not. So just be able to accept what comes with asking for a divine union. A few things, like just for an example, let's say you want a man who's rich. And look, you're allowed to want whatever you want, and you're allowed to have whatever you want. Don't let me try to talk you out of who or what you're wanting, okay? But I've had experience dating men with money, and it was quite challenging, because when you date a rich man, you have to accept that he's rich because he works a lot. Most of the time, he works a lot. So you have to accept that he ain't never going to be around. Most likely, for most people. So it's all about accepting and becoming aware of what you're really asking for and what comes with what you're asking for, okay? What I didn't realize when I asked for divine union was the side effects. Like, I didn't realize that when I came into vibrational union with my husband, because I am married. I have a whole husband, baby, and he's fine as hell. But we are in vibrational union right now. Right now, our union is spiritual. And I didn't realize once that happened, there were going to be certain side effects, like an increase in spiritual abilities and psychic abilities. I don't like the word psychic. We'll say spiritual abilities. Like, everything is times 10. My dreams have been more accurate. My dreams have always came true, but now they're more clear and they're more accurate. Like, exactly what happens in the dream happens in real life. My clairaudience, like being able to hear my guidance system, increase. Just an increase in all of these different vibration, all of these different abilities is one of the side effects of coming into, I can't even say clairaudience, they just corrected me. There is no such thing as coming into divine union. It's just realizing that the divine union is already happening, because again, you are already in relationship with everything and everyone, even in the vibrational reality. So me and my husband have always been together this entire time. And it just wasn't until like 6 months ago that I realized he was there. Like, that's why manifesting don't really, in my opinion, and from what I've seen in my experience, manifesting doesn't really work for a divine counterpart, because you can't manifest yourself. My counterpart is me, and I am already here. Therefore, he is here with me right now. So you can't manifest. I can't manifest this. It's right here. It's already here. I'm not even vibrationally asking for it because it's here already. And it's been quite challenging having this deep inner knowing that my husband is here. Ooh, shit. I felt that. Um, it's been odd having to navigate knowing that my husband is here and stop it and not physically seeing him. That's annoying. I'm blushing. Oh, sorry. I can just really feel him, and these lights are hot. Um, whew. I'm pretty sure for those people who can see energy, some crazy. He just did some crazy shit behind me, but take a deep breath. Yo, my husband played too much. Anyways, it's been odd navigating the in between where I have a deep inner knowing that he's here and yet not physically here. And I've never trusted in something so much. I've never had this much knowing that something was going to happen, and yet it hasn't happened. And it's been difficult navigating that, and it's been super emotional because we aren't taught to trust our intuition. So there's been plenty of times where like I'll feel crazy, like am I making this all up in my mind? Like this is insanity. How can you telepathically communicate with someone, and how can you do how blah 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 blah? The self-doubt, so intense when you ask for a divine union. It is intense. And that's the purpose of the separation, the physical separation, is because you have to genuinely believe it before you can see it. Genuinely. Like in the deepest parts of your heart, you have to believe that your counterpart is with you. And every time the doubt comes up, use that. I want to cry. Every time doubt comes up, use that as an opportunity for your knowing to go even deeper. Every time doubt arises, use that to sink into the knowing that it's coming and it is going to happen for you. And you're not crazy. You're not making this up. Yes, you can hear them. Yes, you can feel them. You're not lying to yourself. This is real. The vibrational reality is real. And the reason why you've been feeling it for months and months and months and it hasn't showed up yet is because of how fucking big it is. The bigger something is, the more you'll feel it as it approaches. Like, okay, let's say this is approaching me, right? Because it's small, I'm not really going to feel it until it gets about right here. And then intuitively, I'll feel it. But let's say this is approaching me. I'm going to feel this way back there because it's so big and its presence is so large. You're going to feel it months, possibly years, before it shows up in your life. And you have to wait for the physical reality to catch up with the vibrational reality. And that has been such a difficult part. It has been so difficult navigating this because of what society has taught me, what my parents have taught me, the things that I've trained myself to believe. Like, it's just been extremely wild navigating divine union, but it has been the most awesome, third eye opening, heart chakra awakening journey that I have ever been on. And I'm so looking forward to what's coming. Like, looking forward to what's coming feels so good. And real quick, because we're at our time. I like to do like 30 minutes, okay? I'm not trying to be on here all day. Let's talk about being on the other side of your manifestation, because one day your manifestation is vibrational. It's not in your physical reality. And then the next day, you have your counterpart. Your counterpart will be in your life. They're there. It has arrived. Let's talk about making that pivot, because I recently came into physical union with something that I've been wanting for 15 years, and that is the dancer in me. I am a dancer. I dance every day, and I started taking these dance classes about a month ago, and about a week ago, I really danced very well. And I finally realized, oh baby, you're a dancer. Like, it took for me to be good at dancing for me to believe I'm a dancer, but I was a dancer the first day, the first class. So I had to let go of the woman who believed she wasn't a dancer. I had to let her go. And it was so hard to let go of something that I've been holding on to and believing that's true for 15 years. And there was like a little bit of mourning, and there was a little bit of grief and sadness that I had to go through now that I'm on the other side of my manifestation. And that's okay. So, in the event that you come into union with your divine counterpart, if you experience a little bit of grief and sadness and you can't really explain why, that's okay. It's natural, because you're having to relinquish the person that didn't have it and that wanted it for so long. And let me say this. I know that a lot of manifestation teachers talk about living in your wish fulfilled, live as if it's already happened, yada, yada, yada. But even once you come into union with your counterpart, you're still going to feel the longing for them. Let's say when they're away or just not with you, you're still going to feel that heart pull, that longing to be with them. So I've realized that you don't have to get rid of that to live in your wish fulfilled. You don't have to, that heartache that you feel just to be with your lover, like, that really doesn't go away, because that ache you feel is actually the desire to be in the presence of God. And your lover is a permission slip or an excuse to line up with the frequency of the presence of God. So I've just been graceful with myself about longing for my counterpart, because it's okay to want what you want. It's okay to want that. It's okay if your heart aches because you want to love this person so much. And I invite you to use those moments of longing to sink into yourself and to sink into the presence of God. Allow God to fill that void that you feel. Like, allow God to use that space to heal your heart, because for the rest of your life, really, anytime you're ever wanting anything, you want it because it feels good, right? Anything that you want it because it feels good, right? We're being honest. That feel good feeling is you coming into alignment with yourself, aka you going in to sit in the presence of God. That's all you're ever chasing in this life experience, is to be in relationship with the presence of God. You just use different people, places, and things as an excuse to get there. But as long as your main focus is you're keeping your eyes on God, you're keeping your eyes on presence, you're focusing on being in alignment, everything else will come. Seek first the kingdom of God, okay? And everything else is just going to rain down upon your life. And I am living proof. Oh, don't cry. I am living proof. I am a walking, talking demonstration. I'm not speaking to you from a place of someone who hasn't yet manifested the things that I want. I have manifested very big things that I have been wanting for a very long time. I have fruit to bear. I have fruit to show you that what I'm saying points to the truth. Okay? I love you. Listen, I'm hot. And my husband played too much. Can y'all see him behind me? He's back there. If you can see energy, he's back there. But anyways, I love y'all. I really, really enjoyed talking to you guys. I feel like I haven't got to talk to y'all in a while because we had a guest last week, and then the week before that was more of like a storytelling. But when I do these type of recordings with you guys, I'm literally talking to you. Like you watching this, I'm talking to you, okay? I'm talking directly to you. And I can feel you right now. I can see your eyes looking right back at me. So it's like, I just love exchanging with you guys, and I love being here. I love doing this. And thank you. Okay? I love you. I'll see you next time.